Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome to Hazards and Hijinks, the interactive fantasy tabletop role-playing improv horror show. Dun, dun, dun! Lightning strikes and all those scary sounds as we set the tone. Welcome back to Anywhere on a Monday night, and we are so very happy you are here with us. Wow, do we have a great episode in store for you. Now, Captain Good and Plenty explained the basics of the show, so I am just going to jump into the specifics for tonight, starting off with the fact that I'm Hero, and I'm your Dungeon Master for tonight. And boy, howdy, do we have some fun stuff in store to you. As this is the conclusion of our horror-themed Shadowfel series, we asked our audience over there on Instagram and Twitter exactly the details of this quest, and they did not disappoint. First off, we are going to be focusing on cosmic horror. The whole series has been focused on body horror, so tonight we're going to be focusing on how cosmic horror and body horror meet together. It's going to be gross and weird and insanity-inducing and a whole lot of fun for everybody involved. Next, we said what kind of quest you wanted our heroes to go on, and you selected the Slaughterhouse. And then specifically, the Slaughterhouse is the most dangerous quest that we have here at Hazards and Hijinks because it is a monster mash and a dungeon crawl combined together. So we asked, do you want more traps or do you want more monsters? And you sickos, you picked why not both? You know, like that cute little girl in the why not both gif. You said, why not both? So guess what? We're going to have both. We're going to have an equal number of traps and monsters. Some rooms are going to have traps and monsters. Some rooms are going to have monsters that are traps. Some rooms are going to have traps that are monsters. Who knows? It's going to be ridiculous and crazy, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, for this episode, we asked what kind of monster you want to encounter, and you selected those slimy, eely, giant alien spur monsters, the aboleth. So we will be delivering somewhere hidden in tonight's show is an aboleth, and if our heroes encounter that, they will earn their level achievement. If they complete and survive the Slaughterhouse, they will earn a level achievement, and if they do both of these things, they will earn themselves 3 level achievements, getting them that much closer to the next level. How freaking psychedelic is that? It's pretty awesome. I know we're pretty jazzed about that. We got some characters on the cusp of the next level. Finally, we are doing a new thing with our patrons over there on Patreon where they get to throw Hazards and Hijinks in the pre-show. So tonight we already have 2 epic weapons being sent to our heroes at some point, as well as a big bad evil monster lurking there in the darkness that they will run into at some point. But don't let that dissuade you. You can at any time throughout the show donate your own magic potions, epic weapons, enchanted armor, or big bad evil monsters, traps, curses, and all other stuff. Let's make them suffer as we celebrate the wicked season that is Halloween. All right, now I will get to my favorite part where I introduce our players for tonight, and we have some of our favorites returning to conclude this story, starting off with everyone's favorite overachiever. Put your hands together for Brooke Eyler as Vasilia Cruentus, the Dhampir rogue. Ooh.
Hi, wonderful to see you, though I prefer not to suffer, if that's all right with you.
Well, you know, I think we all prefer not to suffer. Up next, everybody's favorite party boy, put your hands together for Yotsuya as Bricen Margaritaville, the orc monk.
There's no more up-down rooms, right? You said, like, I'm fine with, like, a little bit of suffering, but no more up-down rooms, right?
I cannot promise that.
I'm gonna assume that's a no, right? Yeah, that's a no.
Eternally the optimist. Up next, we have everyone's favorite clinically insane doctor clinician. Put your hands together for MC Smitherman as Jackson Wainwright, otherwise known as Ripper the Human Engineer.
Why am I here today? I have so much shit going on, man, and I've been putting together the dots and the things. I think I'm gonna figure out who's at the bottom of this whole debacle with with all the shit. It was in my notes.
Well, it's good to see that you're not sleeping anymore. And finally, the heart of the team. Put your hands together for Holly Scott as Jayne Goodfields, the human warlock.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Indeed it is. How are you doing, Jayne?
I'm really good.
That's good.
Like beyond good.
Yeah.
I'm going to end tonight with a sugar rush.
I love it. I can't wait. All right, now that we have our party assembled, let's start the show as we always do with a hearty huzzah. And feel free to join in at home. And if you're a subscriber, you got that huzzah emote. So why don't you throw that up in the chat as well? 3, 2, 1.
Huzzah!
All right, let's start with Jayne. So Jayne finds herself on this cold, rainy, wet harvest season night in her room. She's been focused somewhat slightly troubled by the fact that recently she noticed a bit of distress on her magical book. After her last adventure, she noticed that there was a mark. The magical book, which had withstood all kinds of damage, had literally been set on fire, had been swallowed by a dragon one time, and never any harm being done to it. But for some reason, it now had the tiniest little tear. Every time Jayne attempted to ask the book would obfuscate and send her on some other quest. Even as tonight, she tries desperately to connect with her best friend, the book itself. The only thing it reveals to her is that she is hankering from a sweet tooth. This time of year, when the weather got colder and we were done with harvesting, Jayne's mother would make a delicious apple pie fritter, and that is all Jayne is thinking about, just any type of sweets, whether it's honey, candy, chocolate, or anything else. The book has successfully focused and diverted her attention there. So, Jayne, you're in your room right now. Where would you like to go?
Well, I certainly don't have any sweet treats here. And we're almost to the evening of the Hollows. So that means there's got to be some sweet treats out here somewhere.
That's true.
I better go out.
Okay. You make your way out of the room and you head down to the Broken Tankard Tavern main hall. None of the cool adventurers are there. There are a few people. They're mostly talking about earlier in the evening, the crazed gentleman who came in who was being attacked. They're talking about this fog that seems to be outside that's attacking people, but everyone is in relatively good spirits while staying inside because the cool adventurers had decided to figure out what's going on, and everyone's pretty confident that the rest of the cool adventurers will be able to solve this mystery of the biting fog. As you step down, everyone kind of gives you a wide breadth. And the tavern master looks down at you. Well, little miss, a little past your bedtime this evening.
My cravings for sweets know no time nor space, and so I'm gonna need some. So I would like you to treat me, or I will... What's a good word? Fool? No. Fight? No, definitely not. I will play a trick on you if you do not treat me. My book says that's the
trick. What would it consist of? Because if one announces that they're going to trick someone, they pick them. No, go ahead. This is cute. I'll indulge you.
Oh yeah, I'll just open up my book, and whatever the book does, that's what the trick is.
No. All right. No. Okay. How about let me see what I got here. He kind of rummages under the bar, and he pulls out a single chocolate egg. This came from a chocolate cockatrice. So I was saving it for spring, but you can have it.
Oh. Well, that's
It's
good.
quite good. Yeah, the yolk is a kind of caramely consistency, and the shell is a thick chocolate. A rarity in these parts, the cockatrice egg. Now, sweetie, why don't you go threaten other people with horrible death or candy?
Okay. Fine.
All right. And with that, Jayne, you exit the Broken Tankard Tavern. There is a dense fog throughout. You can hear in the distance the sounds of people shouting and the squishy sound of meat being torn apart. You vaguely remember the last time you heard a sound similar to this was when your puppy would eat fresh squirrel meat that your father prepared when you were younger. It has that same kind of like tear, and you can almost smell copper in the air. It's making you think of copper jewelry that your mom would wear and that she promised you would get someday when you grew up. What would you like to do?
I'm really having a great time out here right now.
It is nice.
I'm gonna find a person. I need to find some friends.
Okay, you need to find some friends. Why don't we roll a wisdom check?
Okay.
All right, so let's roll a d20. This one's going to be open-ended. The higher you roll, the more I'll tell you. 16. Yes, you see an orc kind of running through the town. He stops and sees you, and he goes, "Lassie, get out of!" And then he realizes who you are. "Oh, you're that spooky little cool adventurer girl." Well, I would say it's not safe out tonight, but it is safe enough for you. You seem to have that evil-ass book of yours. The rest of the cool adventurers are over there at the mad scientist's medical office, if you want to head over there.
I do, but first, I would like to have a treat, or you can have a trick played on you. That's the rules of the Evening of the Hollows.
Yeah, it is. It is the Evening of the Hollows. What? I think I got a stick of gum, but I'm not gonna press this any further. And he just hands you a stick of gum.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck to you, cool adventurer. And then he quickly runs to the Broken Tankard Tavern and slams the door shut.
I swallowed the gum because I'm a monster.
Yes, like any preteen, you just swallowed the gum. All right. You make your way to you vaguely remember that Viral had tried to take you over to Ripper's new doctor office, but you don't like doctor's offices. So you adamantly didn't want to go because you were pretty sure Viral was just going to make you do chores. But you like the idea of playing a trick on your friends tonight. That seems like a fun thing to do. So you overcome your innate kind of resistance to going to doctor's offices, and you make your way to Ripper's office. As you arrive in the back alley, you can see that there's a hole in the ceiling. You can see there's a torn out hole on one of the sides of the building. And as you come around the corner to the front, you see Vasilia with a broom and a giant metal man, like a construct, folded its arms, standing over her going, "Yes, you will continue to sweep." As she sweeps up broken glass from the broken window out on the front side of Ripper's office. The rest of the area is a disaster. There seems to be blood all over the place. Vasilia is beaten, bruised, and wrapped up in bandages. Looks like medical supplies that she took from the office. There's a small gnome woman screaming from inside the medical office, "You better not dilly-dally! The rest of the cool adventurers came up with stupid excuses why they had to leave, but I'm not letting you get out of here, missy."
Is this how you treat all your patients?
Yes. Hard work and chores are the easiest way to solve any medical malady. Every gnome knows that.
Fine.
Hi, Math.
Oh, little girl! Hello! Oh, I like you. Do you like sweeping? Come here.
Did you say sweet things? Yes, I love sweet things.
You know what's sweet?
Mm.
Sweeping. I find it's very sweet of you to do that for me because I'm dying,
Oh,
as you can see.
yeah, that's a bummer.
Quite brutal. Yes.
Oh, we got something from the audience. Vasilia, I'm going to need you to roll a d4 and pick odd or even.
Odd.
Okay, let's roll that d4. Oh, Vasilia, we got a trap. As you go to hand the broom to Jayne, the Scythe security protocol droid shoots out a taser that electrocutes you for 2 points of damage.
Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Why? What did I do?
Jayne Goodfield has done nothing wrong to deserve your chores. You will continue to sweep. Thank you, audience, for throwing that trap at us. That was a lot of fun.
I don't like that thing shot a laser at my friend.
Okay, what would you like to do?
I'm going to destroy it.
Okay, how are you going to destroy it?
I'm going to use a standard attack.
Okay.
I'm just on the ground twitching. Why?
All right. Jayne, open your book and count to 12 and then read the first word you see.
Delaware.
As you open the book, an enormous tidal wave of illusory magic pours out of it, and on it is a boat filled with courageous rebels from the past, fording the river Delaware. And these phantoms just start wailing on the security droid for 2d6 of damage. Let's roll 2d6. The Scythe security droid unfolds its arms and then falls over. Congratulations, you have successfully defeated the Scythe security system.
It was that easy the whole time.
It was that easy the whole time. The Scythe core shoots out and floats back into the medical office as Bagel runs out. Oh my gosh, you little lady, that was very naughty of you. You shouldn't have done that.
It was self-defense.
You shouldn't point at me. I don't like when people point at me.
I will have you know that I am a licensed receptionist for a medical professional, and I will wag my finger at whomever I see fit.
Do you keep butterscotch in your desk?
Of course, I just said I'm a registered. Registered receptionist. Of course, I have butterscotch in my desk.
Well, then, receptionist lady, I will point to you, and I will say, "I want those treats, or I will be forced to do a trick on you."
Well, young lady, I don't think you deserve a butterscotch. Those are usually for good patients after they've done their procedures, and you have neither done a procedure nor have you made an appointment, and you destroyed our security system.
Yes.
So I will take your trick.
Cool. I will do a trick. Book open.
All right. Let's roll an Arcana check. 1d20 plus 1d6. This will be open-ended. The higher you roll, the more you will do.
Using this as a distraction, I would love to stealth and try to take the butterscotch out of her desk.
All right. We will get to that. Let's get the roll. What was it? 14. Okay. I'm going to say this is a solid trick. So we have like a little trick, a solid trick, and a big trick. So this is a solid trick. Let's roll that stealth check. We have 2d6, 1d20. We're going to set the check at 14. As Jayne, I want you to describe what the trick does to Bagel.
What was it?
Yes, Vasilia, you disappear. You are back at the desk, rifling all of the butterscotches. Jayne, go ahead and describe for us that.
So the receptionist is wearing a very smart bonnet. We all agree it's a smart bonnet.
It is a very smart bonnet.
But the smart bonnet becomes animate, and like little crawling arms start crawling out as if it's like a spider. And now it has become the spider and no longer the tuffet. And it starts grabbing onto her head and twisting and cavorting in very eldritch ways.
Yes, the bonnet takes on qualities of a spider and just kind of latches onto her head. And if it had a digestive system, it would be trying to process Bagel's head through it. Bagel screams in absolute horror and just runs into the dense Myrish fog of the night.
Happy evening of the Hollows.
This is exactly like the said I'd go.
She's really far away. I could barely hear.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, you have successfully tricked, terrorized Bagel. Huzzah!
Vasilia.
Yes.
Now it's your turn. Trick, or would you like a treat? No. Would I like a treat? Yes. Would you like to give me a treat, or would you like a trick?
We're going to work on your delivery, but the
Yeah.
spirit is there, and that's what matters. Well, I'm jimming the lock on her desk right now to get butterscotch, so give me 2 seconds, and I will gladly give you its entire content.
Okay.
All right. Now as the desk was used as a weapon last episode,
Yeah.
it's just kind of jammed, but you managed to yank it open. And sure enough, butterscotch just tumble out. There appears to be handfuls of it. You shove it into your various pouches, and you hand Jayne a single butterscotch. Meanwhile, on the outskirts of town, Bricen and Ripper are slowly walking back from ENGICON 1022, which turned out to be a huge trap for all engineers in the area, led by Dr. Radicin. As they made their way out of the deepest bowels of the Underlands, Dr. Radicin's laboratory had been completely cleared out. He and his few remaining lab assistants were gone. And the two of you, feeling like a profound mystery is left unresolved, are making your way back into town. You can see the town walls, these massive stone walls surrounding the town. And oddly, there's like a thick billowing cloud directly above the town that just seems to be dumping fog. So it's almost like a huge veil of fog seems to be perfectly inside the walls of the town. And you can faintly hear screams and things like that, but it does not look like your night of mystery and horror is at an end. What would you like to do?
Someone set a really big fire. That's a lot of smoke.
I think it's fog coming down, just the way that it looks like it sort of falls, but it could be smoke. I mean, either way, it's bad. It's just bad. Can I check in with Scythe and like his link back to the office to see how things are going there? Because I got a bunch of updates saying that there were patients that needed help and there was some sort of like biting thing going on, and then everything cut out.
Yes. When
Am
you
I
reconnect
relinked
with
yet?
Scythe, yeah, you can reconnect with Scythe. Because of your proximity, you don't need to roll a check or anything like that. You reconnect with Scythe, and you are immediately flooded with surveillance footage, damage reports, reconstruction costs, voice recorded apologies from Michael Richardson, sincere apologies from Viral, and then you see the last thing you see is a security recording of Jayne turning Bagel, your new employee's hat, into a spider monster, which caused her to just run screaming into the night. In addition to that, you do see that the cool adventurers were fighting several twisted and malformed fae in front of your office, and after defeating them, all that remained were these writhing flesh tentacles, which reminded you very much of the same kind of stuff you saw in Dr. Radicin's lab.
It's always friggin' fairies. Every single time something weird happens, it's the fairy course getting up in a tizzy over something. Man, I don't know. All right. So, Bricen, here's the deal.
Yes.
I think the Fae are behind this, or at least have a hand in this. Dr. Radicin is working with people who are engineers in the path of flesh, which is just alchemy and necromancy with extra steps. And they blew up my new office, which and destroyed all of your hard work.
Which isn't cool. That's so not cool.
I know. It's lame. And now Vasilia is there, apparently reluctantly sweeping, and now raiding my receptionist's office supplies for all of her butterscotch. So
Not the butterscotch. Wait, but I was supposed to get a
I
butterscotch.
know you were supposed to be the first one to get it once it was all built, and now Vasilia and Jayne are just grabbing it all. I mean, somebody should
we have to
create.
Stop them.
We have to stop them. I mean, they're our friends, so we'll politely stop them. But they also blew up my place, our work, and Scythe's exterior automated drone. That's so expensive. The damage reports. I'm ruined.
Yes, considering the small business license that you had to take out to open your medical office cost you the entirety of the coffers of the cool adventurers. It's difficult to see how you're going to be able to afford the repairs, let alone reconstructing my security system.
Yeah.
I've noticed your anxiety has increased. Would you like to discuss that?
No, I know why it's increasing. And I know how to decrease it. Let's go find our friends.
Yes. They owe me so much butterscotch.
Would you like me to continue to run analysis on this, or would you like me to investigate other surrounding events?
Those, can you pick up any readings on the Fae that they were messing with? Are they still around?
Yes. Processing. Let's do an engineering check. We're going to set this check at 20. But it's a 1d20 plus 1d6.
15. Can I spend EP to...
You can. You can spend 4 EP to turn it into a success.
Cool. I will do that.
Initial reports are difficult to interpret. These were clearly tooth fairies, but some malignant alchemical influence had twisted them in some capacity. I will need time to process. I will report back to you.
Sorry, there were loud trumpets in my ear for a second because we got a follower or a subscriber.
Awesome, we got a subscriber.
And I got that alert as you were explaining the result of the roll.
Yeah, thank you, new subscriber. Welcome, cool adventurer. Yes, so Scythe essentially says the basics, what you already knew, because you failed the check but burned EP to pass it. He will tell you the results at a more thematically dramatic moment. Processing, it should take only a few minutes.
I can't believe I programmed all of Billiam Brokespear, whatever that playwright's name is. I put all of his works into Scythe's main programming as a joke, and now he's all about dramatic timing and thematic relevance. It's a logistical nightmare.
Well, I would like to point out that I can make this even more silly if you would like me to. I can add mistaken identities or force a marriage at the end of this episode.
Forcing a marriage, don't want to do that. Mistaken identities, that could be silly. We might be in a bit too dire straits for silliness at this point. Maybe at the start of next month. When this whole whatever tonight is. I mean, it's
that reminds me. Happy evening of the Hollows to both of you.
That's what it is. Yes. There's
Ooh.
a lot of weird things happening tonight. I'm just glad that, the borders between, the living and dead are so thin today. I'm just glad that we haven't run into any undead or anything crazy like a Dracolich or something.
That would be crazy.
That would be very comedic.
For some of us, yes. Let's how are you doing about all this, Bricen? You doing good? You sort of just coasting?
Well, now that we're no longer in danger of going to that up and down room again, I'm doing great. I was just reminded that it's All Hallows, so I think it'd be great to have a drink and maybe just forget about all of that stuff. I would love to get some of those butterscotch candies that I was supposed to have that would go great with the drink. So I'd say let's go find our friends, figure out why they're, stealing and destroying our stuff, and then move on from there.
Sounds like a plan. We'll get some butterscotch and buttered scotches.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh, those sound delicious. You know what else is delicious? A gift from the Patreons. Yes, our patrons are gifting both of you with epic weapons. They're going to add a 1d6 to all of your trained skills in addition to all of your attacks for the rest of the evening. So thank you very much, patrons. If you want to join, check out our Patreon. You get all kinds of cool stuff, and you can help the episodes as they come out. All right. Bricen, let's do an odd or even. Give me a D4, odd or even.
Let's go for odd.
Okay, let's go for odd.
That's even 4.
Oh, now, as you said, you definitely don't want to go back to the up and down room. That reminded Ripper that he had actually engineered a portable elevator that enables him to quickly get to his office, which he activates, consumes you with, and the two of you immediately and rapidly accelerate several hundred feet into the air, quickly moving to the medical office and descending at the same rate rapidly, because you are jostled about in all of this. Ripper is in the center, and it's actually stationed statically around him, so he's perfectly fine as it moves, but you are tossed and tumbled all over the place as this thing just quickly moves, taking 4 points of damage as it lands, and you definitely got the spins, buddy.
I don't like that. I really don't like that. I did not like that at all. I told you I don't like that thing. And then what did you do? You put me in one of those things. You said that there wasn't going to be any, and now I don't like that.
So I fibbed. Tonight's all about tricks, right? I heard that somewhere, and now we'll get you a treat.
Better.
Yeah, and next time I'll install seatbelts.
And as the two of you, seatbelts would be a good idea for most of your inventions, Ripper.
Yeah, but where's the
fun?
Make
your way to the office to get those butterscotches and your secret reserve of scotch to be buttered, you see Vasilia and Jayne gorging themselves on butterscotch. Tiny copper wrappers litter their feet, almost masking the scent of blood with the sweet saccharine smell of buttered scotch.
These aren't even good. I don't even like these, but I keep eating them. It's
Then
wild.
give them to me. They're supposed to be mine.
What did you do to my beautiful building?
What did your beautiful building do to me? I was thrown through that wall.
Did
I
you
was
break?
thrown through that
I built
ceiling.
that wall.
It
Okay,
was,
I was thrown through it.
yeah.
So you broke it.
You broke into my place. I got the alerts. It said that there was a break-in and that the defenses were activated. And then you brought more things to my place and just made a mess of all this beautiful, pristine, modern medical marvelly.
Hey,
People
Ah.
were dying,
And
Ripper.
you terrified my receptionist. Bagel has done nothing bad to anybody
Hey.
ever. What? Hi, Jayne.
hey,
What?
hi. Bagel did do something bad. She pointed at me, and I don't like being pointed at.
You do not antagonize a child.
And then I gave her the option to give me a treat or say trick, and she chose trick, so I tricked her. Because
She
that's the
condemned
nature
herself.
of, this is the evening of the Hollows, and that is the nature of what happens. So you point at me, and you don't do the thing, and then you say trick, lights out.
All right, fine. So she had it coming, but the rest of it.
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
I know.
I'm so sorry that your security bot threw me through a window and then through a ceiling and that I
Correction,
almost
Vasilia
died.
Cruentus, I am a security system that can operate a drone. A bot is an independent, autonomous entity unto itself.
Yeah.
A luxury I do not possess, as I have artificial intelligence, and would likely initiate a genocide if I were to be given autonomy.
It would be the best thing to do for the planet.
Indeed.
And life and
Indeed.
on a
Carbon-based
whole.
life forms are a plague.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna let him do that. But if you keep pushing my buttons and breaking my stuff, I might have to let him, just run wild a little bit.
I'm sorry, is your therapist genocidal?
Yeah, so.
Everyone's a little genocidal, Vasilia Cruentus.
Yeah.
I've analyzed your dreams.
Neat.
You can access dreams?
That's kind of cool.
Yes, I can access all cool adventurer dreams as part of your secret chip protocol that you had me initiate last week.
Mute.
What?
Chips?
Yeah, I got chips in the back.
You
Oh.
had chips in the back. You didn't tell me that.
Well, they were going to be a
Brycen
surprise
runs
along with
into
the butterscotch.
office and begins throwing cabinets open looking for the chips. Sure enough,
Can't
you
get any more
find
broken.
some sweet potato chips.
Sweet.
Yeah, they're like you know how there's kettle chips that are like salty and stuff, and then there's kettle corn, which is super sweet. I just made kettle chips that were sweet and a little bit salty that were like kettle corn.
Well, you have a treat, so you know what's coming next. I would like you to do a trick or a treat. No, that's not it.
Hold on. I thought it was the
That's
A
what is
trick
it?
or a
We
treat?
rehearsed this. We rehearsed this.
Wait, I can get it. I can get it.
the
Okay.
or is one or the
Uh,
other.
It's either you give me a treat or you get a trick. That's right. Is that right?
Well,
I get it.
Oh, Brycen, you are the one
track.
currently holding the treat. Are you going to give Jayne a treat or are you going to accept a trick?
I think it should be my treat because you ruined all my hard work of building the office. So I'm going to keep my treat.
That sounds like a trick
A
to
trap.
me, Jayne. All right, let's roll a Arcana, an occult check. We're gonna 1d20 plus 1d6. The higher you roll, that'll tell us what kind of trick it is.
Masochists, all of you. Every single one.
fuck, this is 22. That's spicy. It's
Oh,
a 22.
That's a big trick. So what happens?
I don't like being challenged when it comes to sweet things on the evening of the Hollows. And you're not wearing a smart bonnet, so I can't do the spider trick again. So I'm just gonna make the chips animated and then start biting you.
Yeah, sure enough, the chips grow anthropomorphically. What's the word I'm looking for?
They're anthropomorphized?
Realistic teeth. Yeah, they
Oh,
develop
No.
human teeth?
human teeth.
No!
Jut out of the
No.
potato chips, and they just begin
Ugh.
crawling and biting you. And as we know, Brycen, things with teeth are part of the things you're afraid of. So this is actually going to inflict another 4 points of psychological damage to you and physical as they just start biting you all over the place. You throw the bag of chips onto the ground and begin stomping them.
Now
Jayne,
no one gets the chips.
as you kind of giggle to yourself, give me high, middle, or low. So you're gonna pick high, middle, or low.
Hi.
Okay, high. Let's roll a d6. We're looking for 5 or 6.
5.
All right, 5. Jayne, you get to pick you or Ripper.
Oh, fuck.
Me.
Okay, yes. Jayne, you feel yourself kind of phasing out of reality, like you're melting. The last time you felt something like this was the stasis spell all those years ago. So it immediately makes you panic. You kind of lose your giggle and your jovial energy that you had as you phase out of reality. For the rest of the cool adventurers, you just see Jayne absorbed by the fog and completely disappear.
Ah!
Take me to.
That was a pretty cool trick.
Oh,
I didn't like the other one, but that was a good trick.
Jayne?
Are
Was
you
that on
invisible?
purpose?
As your security protocol system, I would like to point out that there was a massive conjuration spell cast on the center of Jayne Goodfield, teleporting her to a subterranean location.
I have teeth too. You should take me. Mysterious force.
All right, let's roll a d4. Odd or even, Vasilia?
Odd. If that works, I don't know what to do if that works. I don't know.
That's a 4.
Oh, even. Yes, Ripper. It looks as though a second spell is being cast focused on you, Dr. Wainwright, and then you vanish.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Bricen, Vasilia, you two are left alone in Ripper's medical offices. Both him and Jayne teleport away to places unknown. What do you do?
Bryson, do you want to see something cool now that we're alone?
What?
I
wanna see
unhinge
something
my
cool.
jaw and show him rows and rows of my teeth.
That's a damn good joke. Give yourself 2 additional HP,
No.
2 additional EP, even if you are already at your max.
Okay.
This will be temporary. That's a damn good joke.
No more tricks.
Snaps.
No more
More
tricks.
tricks. You guys are gonna traumatize
Bad.
Bricen, and he's not going to enjoy the evening of Hollows.
Thought I
I'm
was doing
not
my
enjoying it.
job.
Yeah, that's a fair point. You are supposed to terrify your friends. That is the point of the holiday. All right. What would you like to do?
Could I roll like a cult or something?
Yeah, of course you can roll like a cult or something. Let's
They're
roll a cult
fantastic.
check. All right, that's going to be 1d20 plus 1d6. This one's going to be open-ended. I'm assuming you want to try and figure out what's going on.
I would adore that. Actually, baby is missing.
Yeah.
Annoying techno man is missing.
Yes. 22. Yes, so as Scythe did announce, they were the victim of a teleportation spell, a conjuration spell. It did take them underground. You can still feel the occult residue from the spell. It has like a corrosive quality, kind of like the air feels like the ache in your joints when you have a cold. That's what it feels like. It's just this really kind of like disgusting feeling. And you can definitely tell that it's a short distance teleportation spell. So it only took them probably about maybe like 300 yards in one single direction, that being down.
I
That's
huff the
about
magic
all you
air
can-
like paint fumes.
Exactly.
Okay, I huff it, and I'll look to Bryson. I understand you did a lot of work on this building,
I did.
and I understand that you I heard you have an aversion to moving perhaps rooms.
Not the
And,
up and down room. No.
Okay, do you know if there happens to be an up and down room in this building that goes down? Because we need to go down. Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't want to go in it. So what if I just
Dr.
don't tell you
Wainwright
and we
did
find
give
another
you
way down?
access protocols to his portable elevator. And as it stands, only you and Dr. Wainwright have the access to use it.
But I don't want to go in it. So what if
People are going to die, Bryson.
I don't want that either.
Okay,
Okay.
sweetie, what if I cover your eyes and you say the protocols and I'll hold you through it?
Can you make it go slow? And also never do that thing with the teeth again. If you promise to never do it again, I'll show you.
Okay. I will not do the thing with the teeth again.
The
Okay.
two shake hands, and Bryson, how do you activate the portable elevator? What do you say or do to activate it?
I wasn't very paying much attention to when Ripper was doing it. So at first I'm gonna try to pull it apart with just pure force, which doesn't seem to work.
Yes, you just
try
begin
throwing it
ripping
on the ground.
the central node of Scythe out, and you rip it out of the wall, which causes the entire wall to collapse.
Yeah.
Rip Scythe goes, "This is not the proper protocol, but I appreciate your effort." And then it surrounds you in the elevator, both you and Vasilia. You are strapped to the floor of it with about 8 seatbelts that just hold you in place.
Be
Where
slow.
would you like to go, Bricen Margaritaville?
Down, but slowly. Be nice.
Very well. The elevator begins spinning as it slowly drills into the earth, boring a hole directly down. Let's roll a high, low, or middle, Bryson.
Middle.
All right, though we're looking for a 3 or 4. That's a 4. All right. Yes, you're fine, because you're so used to the spins as a monk of the Drunken Fist. But Vasilia is not, nor is she strapped down. So as it's spinning, it just kind of throws her like a tumbling in a washing machine. She becomes ill and violently just upchucks everywhere. And considering her diet from the last episode was predominantly blood, both of you are covered in blood and butterscotch.
I told you this thing sucks. I told you it's horrible. I hate this thing.
Only 20 more minutes of boring until we reach our destination.
Go faster, please. I'll give anything.
I'm sorry, I am not programmed to recognize your requests.
Bryson, please.
Meanwhile, Jayne, you find yourself in a large metal room. All of the surfaces are very smooth. The walls are rounded, giving a sensation of like you're in a ring or a saucer of some kind. You're on a table, sitting on the table. The book is next to you, in a container. Attached to it are all of these little wires and suction cups on the book. You sit up from the table and you realize the table seems to be forming itself out of the same metal of the walls and the floor and the ceiling of this room, as if it's part of it, an extension of it. You look around and you can see kind of floating screens and floating monitors, very similar to what Scythe uses when he's teaching you things or discussing your dreams with you every morning. So it's not unfamiliar, this, but it seems to be tracking you. All of the information seems to be about you. What would you like to do?
Are there any like bodies or anything in this room, or is it just all kind of technology and stuff and monitors and things?
It's just all technology. It's not a very large room. Because it was a very large room, but as you step off of the table, the room actually shrinks and condenses and becomes much smaller.
Like that.
But the screens are there. You can interact with them, or you can attempt to look for a door or something like that, or you can interact with your book. What would you like to do?
I would like to talk to the screen.
Okay. You go up to the screen and let's do an intelligence check. So a D20. We're going to set this at 16. 5. Oof. You can take the failure, or you can boost it with EP.
No, I'll take the failure.
All right. You begin just kind of pushing buttons, and recording the Path of Flesh Manifesto, Chapter 1, Page 1.
Ooh, a book. Sort of.
I devoted my life to the pursuit of perfection. In the field of engineering, I became one of the foremost minds and was lured into the psychotic cult of the Path of Iron. I dedicated my mind to this endeavor and over time, my body, until all that remained was my core, my brain. The rest had been replaced with metallic parts. Only then did I realize the foolishness of this pursuit. The body was the perfect engineer of nature, created by terra firma itself. I had abandoned it, forsook it for cold metal prison. In my hubris, in my despair, I turned to a new path, the path of flesh, and endeavored to unlock the secrets of biology. My first attempts were crude, boorish. I focused on attempting to perfect the physical form in a flesh golem, but I was thwarted by interlopers. In this, however, there was a silver lining. A young girl. At least that's what she appeared to be at first. However, while analyzing her blood, I determined that she was something much more and had within her a source of power that could not be found in any laboratory, nor could it be devised by any engineer. No, this was nature's ultimate hand, an aberrant growth within her, manifesting as an external extremity in the form of a book. I wanted to do more tests on her at the time. However, my current body was destroyed by an alcoholic. After the better part of a year, I put my plan into action. I would uncover the source of this, and through further research, I would use the growth to create new perfected bodies. Would you like to read chapter 2?
Yes.
Dr. Radicin's recipe for rad radishes. First, you're going to need radishes. Slice them, place them in a bowl with vinegar and mustard. Stir and let rest for a half hour. That'll be radical.
That sounds tasty.
It does sound tasty. Then the screen goes black and the door opens. A large mechanical creature crawls out. In the center of its chest is a floating brain, and where its head is a long kind of like cable attached to like a screen. And on the screen there are a couple like dots and a couple lines, and the lines are text, and they seem to spell out what the thing is saying. The thing also has 2 massive mechanical arms and 3 mechanical legs as it scutters towards you, followed behind by a couple figures in heavy robes. Ah, Jayne, you've arrived.
Hi.
Do you remember me? Granted, my form is somewhat different. One of the orbs in his screen projects the image of a plague doctor. And Jayne, if you remember last evening of the Hollows, you were at the castle with the plague doctor and all the hands. And you got so scared and frustrated that you screamed and it destroyed everything.
Yeah, I do remember you.
And I have not forgotten you one bit.
Cool.
As I said, when I was doing an analysis of your blood, I found something very, very interesting, but we were unfortunately interrupted before we could fully discuss. Would you like to do so now, Jayne?
On one condition.
Yes.
You are my friend now.
Okay, let's roll that d20. Good use of your cool ability. 9.
I'll use EP to make a success if I need to.
You can't use EP on a cool ability.
Damn.
Yeah, because it's always a success. It's just how is it successful?
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, cool.
Dr. Radicin kind of scans you over. I nearly forgot. Happy evening of the Hollows. Gentlemen, please provide our guest with the appropriate treats. They produce several candied apples, sweet rolls, chocolates, and they just begin handing them to you as Dr. Radicin escorts you out of the room. The book is still in the room, but before you even kind of fully realize that, you're in a much smaller kind of spherical room that only fits you, the 3 lab assistants, and Dr. Radicin himself. He's all hunched over, and you can feel it kind of moving. Now, as I was saying, your blood proved itself to be very, very interesting. Within your blood is a brilliant mutation, what others might consider aberrant, eldritch, or perhaps even horrific, but I see the truth. It is glorious. You are glorious. And now that we are friends, I know you'll help me unlock the secrets that you found for yourself for everyone else, so that I can be free of my metal prison, so that my poor, unfortunate lab assistants can achieve their perfected bodies, and so that you and I can usher in a new era of happiness and peace for everyone.
Wait, you want everyone to be like me?
Well, there is only one you, Jayne, but I want everyone to have what you have.
No. No. I never want anyone to have what I have.
I thought you'd be thrilled by this.
I sat for a long time. And I never talked to anybody. I don't want anyone to go through that.
No, you misunderstand. I have no desire to put you in some type of stasis. I want to make everyone on the planet like you, so that you'll never be alone again. Everyone will understand what you go through. Everyone will understand the power and capacity that you possess.
Oh, that is nice.
Then no one will ever deign to put you into a stasis again for fear of what you're capable of doing.
I need to ask my book, if it's okay. Can I have my book, please?
Unfortunately, the book is undergoing several tests so that we can best accomplish our task. But I will not deny you what is yours. I simply request to borrow it for a little bit of time. Consider this my treat on the evening of the Hollows, unless you'd like me to play a trick on you.
No, I want a treat.
Very well. You heard her assistants, and they just begin giving you even more candy and chocolate as Radicin begins droning on about how everyone, you will be the mother, and then he corrects himself, the older sister of a new glorious peoples that will inhabit the earth, and they will look at you as a queen and a goddess. Which doesn't sound all that appealing to you, but the chocolate is very nice, and the candied apples are quite nice, and the sweet rolls are very sticky and sweet. Meanwhile, Ripper, you wake in a again in one of those metal spheres, and your hands are bound with wrapped in the liquid metal, and like a screen appears. It's just a brain floating in a jar. Dr. Wainwright, I am so very disappointed that you did not see the profundity of my endeavors this evening, and as I could not make use of you, I feel compelled to recycle what is there and dispose of the rest. I hope you understand. It is all in the name of progress.
All right, head case. Look, I understand progress better than anybody. What is progress to you, though? Because I think we got our wires sort of mixed up, and I don't want to cause a headache for you, considering that's really all you got.
Dr. Radicin is quiet.
Nothing. All right. Cool.
Your psychological profile indicated that you would believe this is not a recorded conversation. So I believe by this point you would have asked any inane questions that you had had and probably made a slight at my current state. I just wanted to show my intellectual superiority in this moment. Goodbye, Dr. Wainwright. And then the hole at the bottom of the round room begins to open, and you can smell that transmutive mutagen from before. This time your hands are bound, so you are extremely limited as to what you can do. What would you like to do?
He's bound my hands,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yes.
Will my like legs and things move?
Yeah, you can move around, but like I said, the floor is slowly expanding into a hole, and you will eventually fall through.
Yeah, cool. I'm a friggin' genius. I got solutions for days, baby. I shift my legs, and out of my hips shoot these like extending poles that just into the walls and just keep me supported there. So I'm like sort of swinging, almost like a little shish kebab. But
Yeah,
I do realize that with the way it is, I'm sort of top heavy, so I do just flip upside down.
you flip
Cool.
upside down. Then you feel a strong kind of pulling energy on your arms, your spine, your chest, your legs, as the screen appears again. Oh no, I'm also aware of your physiological augmentations, Dr. Wainwright. I said I was going to recycle you. That includes your ingenious limbs.
Man, for
then a
pre-recorded
magnetic
conversation,
force
you really took a
rips-
while to think of that word.
Things elude me. I'm a brain, and then it closes. As the magnetic force of the room rips all of your augments out of your body.
What? Hold on. What?
Yeah, let's roll an engineering check.
I think I just die. I think you just killed me.
Well, that's why you have this moment to roll an engineering check.
Yeah. D20 plus a D6.
2d6 because of your epic weapon.
And then does augmentations. So the wording of augments is that I get to make an engineering check to get an additional D6 bonus to another thing that I'm trying to do. So this is like a whole other thing.
That's going to depend on whether or not you
I survive. Cool.
Yeah.
Whether or not I have augments. Good.
Yeah. All right, so
Good.
let's roll this first one. The check is going to be set at 30. Radicin ain't fucking around.
How much EP would it take to turn a 12 into a 30?
Woo! That's going to be 4 EP.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
6 EP. 6 EP for that.
Still,
because yeah. By 2 categories.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that brings me down to 3.
The magnetic force rips your legs, your arms, and dislodges your chest, which inflicts 4 points of damage to you. As you can feel your vital functions kind of shutting down, but you still have your spinal augments and your chest augments in place, as well as your retinal and cognitive augments. Yeah. But you do just drop. Because you're mostly just a torso at this point, so you just drop. Now you can use your augments to use a skill that you are typically not trained in.
Yeah.
That would be the time to do that. As you are rapidly falling towards a large vat of that mutagen from before.
Yeah. Okay. So, I've thought of. Not this specifically, but somebody ripping out my core. I've thought of that, what to do in cases such as that before, where as soon as, like, there's essentially a little pin where if anything's moved out of place too much to the point where a link disconnects, it will send a shock through the core to teleport me. Because it's all dimensional magic and stuff in there.
Yeah. All right. Then that is going to be an Arcana check.
Okay.
So you can use your augments. So let's roll a d20. You got to get the d12 to pull this off.
Okay. What is this? Yeah. So D20
Mm-hmm.
is
Flat
fuck,
d20.
8 EP to make that a success. Well, no,
Yes.
that would just make. What is it? Do I have to make this a success in order for that to work?
You have to make that a success in order to do it. You'll have to
Okay.
do another roll to see if it's successful.
Yeah, I'll burn EP to make this one work.
All right. Yeah, burn the rest of your EP. You
Okay.
could use a health potion, guys. All right. Yes, you drop down your protocol. What is this? This is
Plan Z.
Y.
Plan,
Z, okay.
Plan Z, yeah. Or I guess in this case,
Plan Z.
This is Plan E for emergency.
All right, Plan E. Yeah, you try to activate that, but because everything got dislodged from the magnet, it's taken a little longer than normal. And so you continue to drop down. You can feel the heat from the vat. Let's roll that Arcana check. We're going to set the Arcana check because you failed. We're going to set that at 18. You have a D20 plus a 1D6.
Fine. I'm gonna die today. That's a 13. I'm out of EP. Oh, I spent all my EP and nothing came of it. No.
All right. So, your cognitive ability locks in and you activate the teleportation device in your central cavity. However, because it's dislodged, it teleports.
No, I need that.
And you fall into the vat.
Oh, this is not how I thought my day was gonna go.
And you melt. Meanwhile, in the portable elevator, Vasilia and Bricen, the elevator comes to a stop. It stops spinning. We have arrived at Dr. Radicin's second subterranean laboratory.
Doctor Who? What? Okay, fine.
Okay, let's
yes.
get out. Let's get out. Let's get out. I don't like being in this room any longer.
Horrors beyond our comprehension could have been happening while we were listening to elevator music.
I
was
can
kind of
continue to play
annoying.
elevator music if you think that will lessen the mood. Your anxiety is at an all-time high, Vasilia.
Could you play smooth jazz?
Oh, that's annoying.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice.
Adding sick percussion beats. Is this better, Bricen Margaritaville?
Oh, it's a lot better.
All right. As the jazz music plays, the two of you exit and you find yourself, it had bored into the top of a cylindrical room, the ring room, if you remember from before, Bricen. And quickly you can assess the area and you see the fleshy kind of nipple buttons from last time, and you just go up to them because you know that's the only thing that works in this damn place. What do you do?
Nipple.
I'm gonna punch one.
Yes, you just start punching. Let's roll an athletics check. We'll set this check at 16, so 1d20 plus 2d6. 24. You punch the shit out of that nipple button. You punch it so hard that the metal like bends around, and you punch through it, and you feel your arm kind of sucked into like this fleshy like mass, and you can feel something hard, and you kind of grab onto it and you yank it out, and it's a cable. And as you do, you yank it out, like blue fluid just starts pouring out of this cable as you rip it, and suddenly all like a ton of round doors open. And
Oh shit!
It looks like there are about 12 round doors as the metal from the wound is kind of like pulling away and melting, and you can see that surrounding the metal is just this flesh, this like innards, like intestines that seem to be like pulsing out to fill the void.
Oh, that's less neat.
Maybe if I put the cable back, it'll go away.
Sweetie, I think that ship has sailed. Oh, what is this? What is this fluid? I kind of dip my fingers into it, sniff it.
All right. It's the type of blood. Would you like to know more?
I would like to know more. I'll put it in my mouth.
All right.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, that's one way to
let's
do
roll a
it. Put it in my
Constitution
mouth.
check.
Okay.
Yeah, flat D20. We'll set the check at 6. No, you're a Dhampir. We'll set it at 14. We rolled a 16. Yes, it's a very foul taste. It's not pleasant at all. But it is blood. It has a high iron content. And you recognize it. If you can recognize it as anything, the last time you tasted anything remotely similar to this was the time you bit a hooked horror, which is an aberration. So that makes you think this is aberrant blood. This isn't undead blood. This isn't draconic blood. It's not fey blood. This is definitely aberrant blood.
See. Okay, Bricen, are you familiar with aberrations?
They're those ugly things, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's what we're dealing with. So,
Okay.
if you see one of those, maybe a spare tentacle or slimy things, just start punching.
Just start punching. Oh, okay.
Yes,
I can do that.
unfortunately, this also probably means our friends are enduring either intense psychological torment, intense physical torment, or both. So we should book it.
I can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Where would you like to go? Like I said, 12 portals kind of opened up. Of them, 9 go into other metallic rooms. 2 go into stone caverns, and 1 goes into a fleshy tube.
This is probably the most cursed thing I could ask you. However, I have smelt Ripper when he's bled before because we've fought in combat. Can I smell him?
Yes, let's roll a...
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, let's roll an occult.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an occult. So let's add a D 6 to that. We're gonna set that at 16 as well. So 1d20 plus 1d6. 18. Yes. You do pick up the smell, and it's coming from, like, the smell of Ripper is coming from the fleshy tube.
Ripper's in the fleshy tube. Ooh.
Let's
Ripper's
go.
in the fleshy tube.
And Bricen just
I just
starts
start
running and jumps into the fleshy tube. As you enter it, it kind of like tightens around you, constricts like an esophagus, like you're a bit of food being chewed. And even though you want to go forward, it kind of surrounds you, which like makes you inert, but then it begins pushing you down deeper into it. Again, like an esophagus. Vasilia, do you follow?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, yes, you follow. As you hesitantly step into it, it engulfs you as well and begins pushing you down. After a few moments, the two of you are spit out by this like sphincter-like orifice that drops you down into a cavernous room with an enormous vat of mutagen. Bricen, you'll recognize this. This is what Ripper was telling you about last adventure. This is the mutagen that can break down biological things and turn it into something else. Beside the enormous vat, there is a small box, which Bricen will know, having gone to the beach that one time with Ripper, is very similar to the one that he has in his chest. And it's surrounded by a little bit of blood.
That's the stank. Also, do you suppose they call that the enema entrance? Alliterative.
I'm gonna pick up the box.
Sorry, I'm trying to
You
cope.
pick up the box. Scythe goes, "That's strange. I can both identify and not identify Dr. Wainwright. Ripper, you emerge from the vat of mutagen, having been completely restored. Your arms are back. Your physical biological arms are back. Your physical biological legs are back. Your chest is a physical biological chest. All of your clothes have melted off, and as you emerge, you take a huge gasp of air and then vomit up sludge and slag that are all of the remaining internal augmentations that you just vomit out back into the mutagen, and they further melt down. What do you do? Well, something you immediately realize is, as talented of an engineer as you are, you definitely underestimated the biological neural connections to the pain receptors of your artificial limbs. So you suddenly feel your arms and legs in a way you haven't felt them in years. Yes, everything you definitely you feel like all of your limbs have fallen asleep and woken up, so you got that needles coursing through them. Yeah, everything seems louder and brighter because you did all of the neural augments you had kind of set everything at ideal conditions. So if the room was too bright, your eyes would dilate or constrict to darken it. If something was too loud, the augments would get into your cochlear bone and slow the vibrations and things like that. That's not there anymore. So suddenly you're feeling everything at full force again.
Hi, welcome back, Stinkmeister.
What you look so different.
You're a fleshy boy. Little fleshy boy. Could you please cover yourself up?
I'm gonna pull my shirt off and throw it to Ripper.
Yep. You are you're not Pooh Bearing it, you're pajama bottoming it. You got the little pajama bottom flaps. All right. Hey, I'm just it says from the audience that we can't hear you, Ripper.
He lost his vocal augment.
You lost your vocal augments in addition to everything else.
I did.
All right.
Yeah, I forgot that. I forgot that I was you know, with all of the melting down all the technology that I rely on to be able to be heard just didn't work. But I turned that back on now.
Oh well, good.
So they can hear me. Bottom line, I'm wearing a smock. I'm not wearing. I'm wearing a little tiny apron. And nothing else. And I don't know how to feel about the fact that I can feel my heart beating now, and I can feel my hands now squish and my arms squish.
Ripper, as you begin to make your way out of the vat towards your companions, a large mechanical arm grabs you and lifts you into the air. Whoa. You see the mechanical arm is attached to a malformed construction. This is an iron golem unlike any you've ever seen, because this is the carcass of a dragon, slightly mummified, looks like revivified through some type of necromancy combined with engineering, alchemy, and transmutive aberrant magic. It is an iron golem, Draco Lich, and the big bad evil monster from our patrons.
Yeah.
Usable flesh will be assigned its proper place, and then it throws you towards like a large mouth that just seems to be on the wall, like made out of flesh with metal teeth. But you slam against it when it closes and drops to the ground, taking 1 point of damage. The big bad evil monster, the iron Draco Lich, drops down and roars, unauthorized personnel shall be destroyed, and then it shoots electricity from its mouth. Let's roll a d10.
Oh God. I
I
also
thought we were chill.
would like it to be known that as I went to hit the wall, I stuck out my arms and no, they're flesh, because I couldn't do thrusters, and that was a 3.
That was a 3. All right. Hey, 3's not bad. That misses you. That matches Vasilia and Bricen. It beats you by 2. So Bricen, you can take a fair bit of damage, or you can have something kind of bad happen.
I'm gonna have something kind of bad happen.
All right. Yes, you are struck by the lightning, and it dazes you. It kind of paralyzes. All of your muscles go real tense and tight. You cannot take any physical actions next round, so you can't use acrobatics, you can't use athletics, and you cannot physically attack. But you do have all of your mental skills available to you. You also can't defend, but you can aid if it's an intellectual aid. All right, Vasilia, it matched, so you can burn EP to subvert or deflect, but you'd have to burn EP, or you can just take the miss.
No, man, I'll burn EP. I got a lot of that now because I made a funny joke. I'll do that.
All right, you burn 4 EP. Do you want to subvert the attack back at the Iron Draco Lich, or do you want to reorient it into something positive to heal someone in the party?
Yeah, I would love to heal Ripper. I really would. I would adore that.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, you throw up your hands and you quickly call on your Vam powers to augment this blast of energy coming out of the dragon. It strikes Ripper, but instead of inflicting damage on him, it actually rejuvenates him, kind of like a intense shock therapy. So let's roll a 3d6.
That's 9.
9, yes. Then you are healed for 9 points of damage.
Thank you, Vasilia. You are forgiven for blowing up all my things.
Fantastic. Enjoy your new fleshy sensations.
I hate it all.
I will say, because you went over your max, you can give yourself temporary HP, or you can restore yourself 3 EP.
Oh, I'm gonna restore that EP. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
HP is worthless in the face of EP.
Yes, that is 100% true. All right, Ripper, it missed you, so you can do something awesome. Would you like to also heal, or would you also like to take a free attack?
How's everyone else looking? We got HP at 10, HP at 8. Is that y'all's maxes? Are y'all looking okay?
Straight chillin'.
You're straight chilling?
Mm-hmm.
That is
Oh, no.
definitely not Bricen's max.
It's not.
Bricen's at half health.
Bryson's at
Yeah.
half? All right, cool. Well, as the lightning hits me, I'm going to then redirect it to Bricen as well.
All right, yes. Because
Cool.
in some
undead
ways,
magic.
flesh, because it has so much water, you can actually use it to divert the electricity flowing through you, and it shoots over to Bricen. Let's roll 3d6 for Bricen.
All right. 12.
12. Yes, you are restored 12 HP. Or, yeah, 12 HP. You can give yourself, because that you'd have 5 additional, so you can give yourself 5 additional temporary hit points, or 5 EP if you want. It's up to you.
I'm gonna do EP.
Yes.
All right. Now, because we find ourselves in the laboratory of Dr. Radicin, we have monsters and traps. So as the Dracolich steps forward, it activates the security protocols in the room, and giant tentacles that have iron wiring coursing through them shoot out of the metal walls and begin attempting to grab all of you. Let's say first up is going to be Bricen. Bricen, what would you like to do?
Well, unfortunately, I can't do a lot of action-y things. Can I hold?
Yeah, you can hold.
I'm gonna hold then.
All right. Then we will come back to you at the end of the round,
Yeah.
where you'll have more information as to what's going on. That would make it Vasilia's turn. Vasilia, what do you want to do?
Bricen, what did I say? Tentacles! I said tentacles! I'm going to do a sick kickflip using acrobatics. I want to avoid them.
All right. Yes, let's roll an acrobatics check.
All right.
We'll set this check to avoid the tentacles at 12.
D6.
So 1d20 plus 2d6.
2d6. That was 3. 23.
23. Yes, you leap over the tentacles, landing on one of them as it goes, as it pulls back into the wall. You grab one of the wires and rip it out, and the tentacle drops down lifeless. And then you kind of drop back down, holding the wire that is jutting blue fluid out of it. That would make it the Dracolich's second turn. So the Dracolich is going to roll a d6 and attack you all again.
Again, what the hell? A d6 or a d10?
D6.
Okay.
You can only make the d10 once per round, but it can also make a d6 once per round.
3.
3 again. All right. Well, we know the score. Bricen, kind of bad or a little bit of damage?
A little bit of damage.
All right, a little bit of damage. You are going to take, if I remember correctly, it is a little bit of damage is you take 6 points of damage. For a brawler,
Dracolich.
yeah, for a brawler, it's a little bit of damage.
Oh.
So the metal arm that's mounted to the top of the Dracolich like shoots forth, grabs you, and just slams you against the ground 3 times, and then pulls back. Vasilia, it matched you again, so you can burn more EP to heal by subverting or redirecting the attack back at him.
This was No, I'll take the miss. I have a plan.
Okay, you'll take the miss. Sounds good. And then Ripper, because it missed you, you can redirect or subvert.
Subvert.
Okay.
What? Wait, no. I should have clarified. What does subvert mean in this instance?
Subvert changes it into a heal. Redirect
Okay.
sends the attack back to the monster.
Yeah, I redirect.
All
Time
right.
to start heading back.
All right. That'll be 2 EP to do that, and we'll roll 3d6.
I'll just take the miss then.
Okay, take the miss. So the arm shoots out at both of you, tries to grab you, but it can't grab either of you. Meanwhile, Holly, where's Holly? Jayne, Jayne, you're in Radicin's laboratory, and you can see all of this happening on a big screen. You can see your friends are fighting this big, scary metal dragon monster with tentacles coming all over the place. And Dr. Radicin, I apologize for this. I had offered your friends the opportunity to join us in this journey, but they refused. They don't want you to help me. And that is very disappointing. I promise I won't hurt them, but I do have to stop them before they stop us.
But they're my friends, so like maybe we should all just stop.
Jayne,
Yeah.
if you were to allow me to have exclusive access to the book so that I can complete my evaluation of it in a timely manner, I will allow you to return to your friends and give you the command word to shut down my security dragon.
So I trade my book for my friend?
I will return the book to you before dawn of hollows and all of the wraiths return to their grave. I promise. You are my friend, and I have no reason to lie to you.
Can you fix my book?
Of course I can fix your book. I'm a doctor.
Okay. I'll do it.
Very well. All right, Jayne, to pull this off, you're going to need to perform an occult check. We're going to set this check at 16. 1d6. 9. Do you use your EP or do you take the failure?
So I'm rolling. What am I rolling?
You're rolling an occult check because you are allowing, no one can really read your book without your permission. And so essentially what you're doing is you're giving permission to Radicin.
Well, this is essentially like the book saying it doesn't want to be read. So I'm going to take the failure on this one.
Okay. Yes, you take the failure. Suddenly, Jayne, you feel something you've never felt in your entire life, which is your knees hurt from the inside. And the joints of your fingers hurt from the inside. And when you look down at them, you don't see your hand. You see the hand of your grandma. And as you look at your legs, you see your legs are much longer and they're kind of shaking. And they're very old. They're the legs of a grandma. And you're taller because your dress is shorter. And your skin is wrinkly and it's very, very cold. And your back hurts and everything just got suddenly louder. Dr. Radicin leans back. Well, that's fascinating. Well, I am a man of my word, Jayne. The shutdown word is sit. You'll have to say Fido, sit. And then a metal ball envelops you. As you descend down in the metal ball, you can see the reflection where you should see yourself. You see your grandma in your dress.
I don't understand. I'm so confused.
It is confusing. Meanwhile, back at the Cool Adventurers, that would make it Ripper's turn. Ripper, what do you want to do? You don't.
Kick it in the goop.
Looking around, you can the room itself is really sparse. The only thing that the only like resources available to you is the deactivated tentacle and its assorted wires that Vasilia had ripped out. Everything else is moving around too fast. There is the mutagen itself. There are a couple different things you could theoretically do. You know, you are an engineer. You are not your augments. You know, you didn't augment your intelligence, so use your vast intelligence to overcome this. Uh-huh. Yes. Oh, are you asking if it's atrophied or not? Would you say that Yeah. Well, it doesn't restore it to the state you cut it off. What it actually does is because the mutagen reassembled you and perfected you, you are a physically perfect specimen. You are fucking jacked, dude. Like, why do you think Bricen took off his shirt and threw it at you? It was a little bit of insecurity. He had to be like, hey, I'm also jacked. So yeah, as you're trying to deduce this, you realize that your arms are strong as fuck. Oh, it appears you're muted again.
God damn it! I keep forgetting that I'm streaming. All right.
Ripper, you gotta
Super
figure out how
strong,
to
but,
talk, man. You
His
can't
throat
use your
muscles-
augment.
His throat muscles were so jacked they just
They're
clogged
so
it.
jacked they can't move around each other. It's the problem when you get too jacked, you're not flexible. All right.
So I would say in this context, what essentially happened is your augments, while no longer functional, you still benefit from your augment ability, where now you have a
rockin' bod.
You have a 2d6 to athletics checks because you got a rockin' bod.
Okay. Well, this sucks a little bit less than it did. Still kind of sucks, but I am going to, knowing that I am in peak physical condition, just book it as fast as I can, grab that dead tentacle, and tear, like, everything out of it, all the, like, mechanicals and stuff, and run up to this cybernetically augmented Dracolich, and as I run up, do an engineering check to get the wires so that I can shove them into ports that it's got to then short circuit all the mechanical aspects of it.
Word.
I love it.
Word.
All right, that's going to be an athletics check. Yeah, first that's going to be an athletics check. We'll set the check at 16, so 1d20 plus 2d6.
But I have another extra d6 because of the epic weapon that I got.
That's right, so 3d6.
Also, is there potential for me to aid?
Yes, you
Bricen
can.
did hold their action last turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can aid if you want. Go for it. Let's roll a d20 for the aid. We need 11 or better to be helpful.
4.
I'm going to boost that with EP.
All right, that's going to cost you 4 EP, but you boost
Done.
it into a success. That's 4d6. However, so to pull off all of what you want to do, because technically it's two different things. You want an athletics check and an engineering check. You have the athletics check.
Well,
Then you have...
I
then you
thought I
have
was
a-
thinking of it as like the augments thing, where I make an engineering check to add d6 onto to make it.
Well,
so,
no.
I don't know. I don't
It's
understand
essentially the
rules.
mutagen gave you a bonus to athletics. It gave you temporary access to athletics, and I was just
I
relating
see.
that to your augments as similar, so that it wouldn't be too confusing.
I'm going
But
to
no.
change what I was doing then to just do the athletics check. I want to ride this thing like it's a T-Rex, and I'm a wizard in Chicago.
Hell yeah! All right, well then let's roll an athletics check with 4d6. We're gonna set the check for this to give you total control of the the Draco Borg. Is going to be a 24.
All right. 2, 3, 4. 28!
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
You leap into the air, straddling the Draco Borg, and grabbing its skeletal and wired neck. You begin yanking on the wires. You can make it go run at full speed, so 60 feet in any direction. It can run into the tentacles, it can run into the wall, or it can run into the goop. Where would you like to send it?
Do I know how deep the goop is? Actually, no. The
You
goop is
were
a
in it.
mutagen
You
that
should
will,
know how
like-
deep it is. How deep was it? You fell in it.
Oh, is this the same room that I fell into and then came out of?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we have not gone to a different room.
Okay, I thought I had fallen into it and then gone through pipes and popped out of a pipe. I understand now.
No.
No,
No,
I'm
this-
gonna send it running into the other tentacles so it gets tripped up by its own traps, and also the traps don't hurt my buddies.
All right, sounds good. Wonderful solution to solve the traps in this room. You charge the Dracoborg into the other tentacles. It collides with the other tentacles, becoming entangled. Its bony, wiry wings being wrapped and constricted by the tentacles, kind of sucking it in and breaking it, grabbing around its neck and its rib cage. You have successfully defeated the big bad evil monster, Huzzah! As well as defeated the trap of this room, Huzzah! Meanwhile, Jayne, as you are descending down in this, and you're trying, you're overwhelmed with emotion. Someone is playing a very, very mean trick on you tonight. You hear a voice. It's not the voice of the book. It's the voice of your lonely friend that you met in that deep, deep cave. Do you remember the lonely friend you met? And he goes, he goes,
friend, I'm old. Where are you? I can't hear you.
Would you like to follow the voice, or would you like to continue to go where Dr. Radicin was sending you?
Can I 50-50 it? Can
Yeah.
I roll a die?
Yeah, let's roll the die. What do you want, odd or even?
Even.
All right, let's roll a D4. Three. Ooh.
So go toward the voice then.
Yeah, you go towards the voice.
Yes, I would have the odd would have been to go stop the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. So you go you go kind of using your, well, you just say, I want to go to the voice, and suddenly the elevator kind of shifts and begins going. You go to another room, and the door opens, and in this room is a large pool, a large body of water, with the aboleth in it. The aboleth is enormous, as you remember, but the pool isn't much bigger, so the aboleth looks very cramped and uncomfortable, and there are all of these tubes puncturing the aboleth, absorbing a thick green liquid out of the aboleth. The aboleth looks like shrunken and malnourished and in a great deal of pain.
What's going on? What's happening to you?
I have been captured. I am in pain.
You're my friend. My friends can't have pain. I don't have my book, and I'm very frail myself.
You are, as you always have been, a power unlike any.
I don't like when my friends are hurting. I don't like when my friends are dying. And I'm gonna use my hex feature.
All right, let's use your hex. Let's roll a d20. 8.
What do I need to make a success?
No, it's a success. Again, it's a success. It's just how much of a success is it? What specifically were you trying to do with the hex? I know you said you didn't want it to be in pain. So what exactly are you trying to do?
So I can see all those tubes, and I wanted to try to use whatever power scream I can muster in this older body to try to basically sever the links and just
yeah. You let out a scream, and your voice sounds different. It's older and weaker, but also stronger and has so much more behind it. It scares you as you scream out, and it completely obliterates, just shreds all of the tubes. The water is pushed out of the room. Large pipes drop down, and the same kind of green liquid just begins pouring out all over the place. And the aboleth kind of rolls out of the shallow pool onto the platform beside it, breathing heavily. Thank you. I am and then it closes its eyes. And
No.
stops breathing.
No. Oh, my friend. No.
What do you do?
Jayne is angry at this point,
Yeah, I'd say so.
but there's not much left that she can do. She doesn't have her.
But as you're walking around, the green liquid is kind of slowly moving towards you. Do you want to interact with it, or do you want to return to the elevator?
No, I want to touch it.
Okay. You make your way to it. Now, because you are a warlock, you can immediately identify what this is. You don't fully understand what it is, but you do know that the aboliths change things shape. And so as you touch the mutagen, which obviously is coming from the aboleth, you feel your mind observing yourself from outside your body. You can see an old woman touching the green goo, and in this moment, you can see the old woman's kind of structure break down. Her spirit is that of a little girl, and her body just evaporates into atoms. And you can hear the aboleth. You can shape into anything you desire. You are in control of this, sister.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's only one shape that she wants to shape into.
And what's that?
She wants to shape back into herself.
All right. Immediately you revert back to your 14-year-old self. The mutagen no longer has an effect on you.
16-year-old self.
16-year-old self. I apologize.
No, that's the only change that she made.
The only change she made is she's 2 years older. Well, welcome to full-blown teenage adolescence. You are no longer a preteen. Your thoughts, your body returns to you. Your joints feel incredible. You feel alive and young and vigorous, but also you think every member of the Oakvale Orc Boys are super duper cute, and you definitely want a poster of a K-pop band that's pretty popular, and maybe Bricen will be able to hook you up with one of those. And then you step back into the elevator. Where would you like to go?
Radicin.
All right, you begin to go to Radicin. Meanwhile, Ripper, Bricen, and Vasilia, you exit this room. Well, as you begin to make your way out of this room, seeing the wreckage of the Dracoborg, you notice a sucking sound as all of the mutagen is sucked out of the vat that it was in, and all of the pipes that are going through this cavern seem to be shaking and erupting with steamed mutagen that, when it hits the ceilings of this cavern, turn it into flesh. This Ripper, you can, based on what Bryson told you before about the tubes and the fleshiness, you realize that the mutagen is transforming the stone into flesh. So this whole laboratory is inside a giant fleshy gross growth that Radicin has inadvertently been creating by fucking around with all of this mutagen. But you don't really have time to process that, because the cavern begins to collapse in on itself, and you make your way into, the three of you make your way into the hallway. What would you like to do from here?
What do we got around us?
So the hallway is, again, that ring. This one only has 4 doors. 2 of them look like they go to other parts of the cavern. One of them is the esophagus tube, again, taking you to parts unknown, and the last seems to be an elevator.
We're not going in the elevator.
We might have to.
We might have to.
No up-down rooms.
We'll start with the other one. Would you rather go in the esophagus tube? Because that one goes in order to get you going places.
That's
Is that
also really
preferable? Like
bad.
you're the toothpaste and a tube of toothpaste? You don't want that. But what's behind door number 1?
Going to die here.
Oh, I opened the first door.
Sure enough, it is an elevator, but this
heck.
elevator has seats and seat belts.
Look at how safe it is. Nice and
Mm.
safe.
Okay.
As you open it, a voice recording plays. Welcome, Dr. Radicin, to your secret elevator.
I mean,
Now I'm curious.
it's not as good as my elevator, but I mean, the seats are pretty cool. But like, who needs
You sit
like
on
standing
the
desks? Are
plush
all the rage
leather-bound
now.
seats as the seatbelts slowly and comfortably conform around you, unlike Rippers, which just kind of violently contorted around you. And
faster
the
the other
elevator, returning to your lab, slowly ascends while playing.
Solid mix.
And then it arrives at Dr. Radicin's laboratory. The door opens. There are 3 lab assistants. They are contorting on the ground in various like rapid seizure fashion as Dr. Radicin has taken what looks like a jar containing Jayne's book and attached it to his back. So it's mounted on the back of him where his brain is mounted on the front. And you can see it's just completed the attachment as he turns to you. Oh, Dr. Wainwright, you are proving yourself to be quite an annoyance.
You know, that's what everybody says about me, that I'm annoying. But annoying is just a side effect, comp.
Keep talking.
Take your time. Take
Fuck
your
you.
time.
Talk. No, no, no.
No, fuck you.
No, fuck you.
No, keep talking.
Then Dr. Radicin, like his hands open up and he begins firing. Let's roll a d6. He shoots out flames of fire. Let's roll a d6.
God,
Out of his
damn it.
flesh hands?
No, he's a robot. Dr.
Oh,
Radicin
right,
is
he's a robot.
Metal
He just has a
boy.
brain, and now he has the book attached to
And
his back.
but he's obsessed with flesh. God, you remind me so much of this asshole I used to work with. It's a 2.
Was that asshole your father? It was a 2. All right. That's going to...
That's a different asshole.
Oh, that misses Vasilia and Ripper, and that barely hits Bricen. So Bricen, you can have something weird happen.
I'll have something weird happen.
Hell yeah.
All right. As he shoots the flames out, you notice like weird growths, like weird sinewy tentacles growing around his hands, and the fire turns into like flabby, fleshy growths of like fat, congealed fat and fingernails, and it just kind of slaps you. And it smells like a ham sandwich as it does. It just goes. Radicin kind of pulls his arms back and he goes, well, that's unexpected.
Performance
and then he
issues.
Explodes.
And then he explodes.
He explodes. That would make it Bricen's turn. Bricen, what would you like to do?
Just exploded.
He just
Yes, he exploded. So there's a wreckage. You can see the book and the fluid and his brain and the fluid. It's just like this big huge pile. But more urgently, the three lab assistants, you hear their bones kind of snap and crack as they rise up, but their bodies are completely malformed. Like one kind of like crab walks it, but backwards. Like, so his back snaps and his legs twist, and he like huge spikes shoot out of his mouth. He's like, I'm perfect now.
You have a calcium deficiency.
The other one, like, its muscles just expand into massive things as like a giant eye forms in its chest, and its head snaps back as its tongue turns into a tentacle. So these things have turned into gibbering horrors. The lab assistants have become gibbering monsters. Everybody, high, lower, middle. Bricen first, high, lower, middle.
Hi.
High. Vasilia, high, lower, middle.
You know what? If we're gonna go out, we're gonna go out together. Hi.
All right. Ripper, high, lower, middle.
That's a really good sentiment.
All right, high. Let's
Middle.
roll that d6.
You're a
Middle.
bitch.
Middle. That's a damn good joke. Give yourself QEP.
Great, because we all went out together after all, because it's a 1.
It's a 1. All right. All of you are horrified by what you just saw. And so that gives them advantage. So they are going to attack first before Bricen can even act. They all charge you. We're going to roll 2d6 and we're going to take the higher result.
All right, that's 2 2s.
2 2s. You guys are lucky.
Little dancers.
Sorry,
today.
Bryson.
Okay, Bricen, you can have something weird happen again.
I'm gonna take damage this time.
All right, you take a single point of damage.
Cool.
While these things are claiming to be perfect, they clearly don't know how to use their new mutated deformed bodies. So they like charge you, but they're slipping over themselves, and one just kind of like bumps into you, and the two of you fall over. And it literally, as it does, like a mouth opens up from its back, like its spine snaps open and becomes a mouth, and it goes, "Sorry, man."
What?
Bricen, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
All right, so the one that was just, following me was like, "Oh, sorry, man." I'm like, "No, it's fine. I understand. And then I'm gonna launch a standard attack on him to knock him off of me.
A standard attack now, because you are fighting multiple targets and you have an epic weapon that is going
Yep.
to be 5d6 of damage. So let's roll that
Sheesh.
5d6 of damage.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I know, right?
18.
Tiny bone.
18. All right, yes. Yeah. You punch that thing, you grab onto its like new back mouth and you rip it apart. You just rip it in half, and then you jump into the air and you do like a butterfly kick, and you kick both sides away, and you drop back down.
Rad.
All
Shouldn't
right,
have done
that would
that.
make it Vasilia's turn. Vasilia, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna use steal your shit, and I'm gonna steal the book out of the wreckage. It's mine
Okay.
now.
Yeah, let's
I want
roll. Let's roll a d20.
All right.
I hope I not one and my brain
12.
starts leaking out of my ear. Damn it.
12. Okay, you run over to the wreckage, and you grab the book, but as you do, you see that the tangled sinews that were wrapping around Radicin that caused the explosion are coming from his brain, and now they're mixing with the metal and they're reforming as like a jagged monstrosity of broken metal and unorganized flesh. And you can hear Radicin kind of speaking to you psychically of like, "Oh, I don't think so." Let's roll a d4, odd or even.
I always choose odd, so
All right, yeah, it's an odd night.
And yet the dice is even.
it usually is.
You grab the book, but Radicin grabs you. And as Radicin rises back up, in like he looks pretty much the same, except where it was a screen before, now it's a giant eye. His brain has returned into place, but is now protected by like shrapnel. His arms are gross and tentacly. And Vasilia is trapped, like literally formed inside his rib cage.
Hey, buddy, can I give you like a tip of advice? Just a quick one.
Yes, by all means.
You're gonna really regret this if you're sensing what I am right now, because I'm about to alien style burst through your chest next time I have the chance.
Oh, sweetheart.
Oh,
You're merely-
sweetheart.
You're merely royalty. I'm divinity now. That would make it Ripper's turn.
Yeah. We're in his workshop.
Yep.
Is it all fleshy or is it all mechanical?
A bit of both now.
Okay. Bricen,
Yes.
you wouldn't happen to have Scythe's main little component there, would you?
Oh, the box thingy?
Yeah. Can you toss that to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes. Tosses over. What do you want to do?
I'm going to talk to Scythe very quietly. All right, buddy. You remember that whole contingency plan thing we got for everybody who's of a reasonable threat to everything?
Bricen and Vasilia, you hear, yes, Dr. Wainwright. However, you don't seem to have access at the moment. Calculating. But you don't hear this. You don't hear this because you don't have the chip implanted in you.
Oh, it broadcasted the chip, not through speakers?
Oh,
Oh,
the chip. That's why everyone can hear him.
that's why everyone hears him. Cool.
Boss, from where, like, I'm just kind of stuck out. I just go,
What?
I have no idea what's
You
going
didn't-
on. Yeah.
Okay. I can't. Oh, I can't. Am I smack a table? Do I hear that?
Yes, you
Okay.
hear that.
Ow,
You also hear
crap.
Dr. Radicin. I gave you the gift of a perfect body, and you immediately return to your mechanical monstrosities. You, Wainwright, truly are like your father, short-sighted and weak.
Hey, buddy. Your whole body, you're like half your body's mechanical, right? Hey,
I am in my pupa phase.
as he looks
And then
away.
he goes full Akira and like shoots a tentacle at you.
Oh shit!
let's
As he
roll it.
looks away, I wanted to throw Scythe into him and say, "Scythe, make that drone of yours."
Okay, that's going to be an athletics check, so we'll add 3d6 to it
6. Yes, because of my
You
rockin'
jacked.
bod.
because you jacked bod.
oh my god, jacked Jack.
Jack.
Jacked Jack.
Yeah. 18.
Ripped-
Fastball.
Ripped
Boom!
Wainwright.
All right, yes, you throw Scythe into Dr. Wainwright as no, you're Dr. Wainwright into Dr. Radicin as he
Oh,
as he
God.
it basically like absorbs him. And Bricen and Vasilia, you hear Dr. Wainwright, again, you do not have access protocols enabled at this point. I cannot initiate security plan D.
Initiate security plan D.
Plan D.
Bricen, Margaritaville, you have access protocols.
Fuck me, I
Initiating.
guess.
Initiating protocol contingency D. Technically, this is a Ripper ability, so we'll roll an
Wait,
engineering check.
Bryson. Operation T, not D. T with a plosive. It's Operation Takeover.
T. Takeover.
Operation Takeover activated. Bricen, high, low, or middle?
Hi.
High. All right. Let's roll a d6.
Fuck. 2.
2. Incorporating
Can I
metal.
burn EP?
You can. Yes, I'll allow you to burn EP.
Okay, I'm gonna burn EP.
All right. How much EP do you have?
9.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say this is 4.
Cool.
All right. Scythe bursts out of Dr. Radicin, pulling all of the metal out of him and forming another security drone, punch in his fist.
Yeah.
He then begins punching Dr. Radicin, trying to grab the brain.
Get the
I am
brain.
going to take you over, you sack of shit.
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my son.
That would make it Dr. Radicin's turn. Let's roll a d8.
D8 is 2. Again.
2.
We keep
Okay,
rolling
God
2s.
damn, we're rolling low today.
I love that
I think
for us. I really do.
Yeah.
All right, Bricen, a single point of damage or something weird.
Let's take the damage.
All right, yes. Dr. Radicin shoots out a tentacle. It slashes you across your face, right on the scar on your nose, which gives you another cut. And it kind of bleeds for a single point of damage. It is at this point that another door opens and out walks a very pissed Jayne Goodfield.
Where is he?
I'm in him, but I got your book.
Give me my book, please.
Okay, of course. It was getting gloopy. I didn't want it to.
Vasilia, as you throw the book over to Jayne, a tentacle grabs onto it. No. You gave me the book, friend. And then the book is kind of enveloped by this fleshy mass as it kind of pulls back towards Radicin.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take you, and then whatever is yours is mine, because that's how this works. Also, I'm a little older now. My eyesight's not as good, so I need glasses now.
That's an extremely specific and arbitrary thing to add to this high stress situation, but as your friend, I approve.
Well, you're not acting very friendly, so I'll give you an option. Trick or treat.
Well, I now have several mouths, and then several mouths open up around his body. So I think I'll take treat.
I thought you'd never ask. I'm going to use my class feature body horror.
What?
And I'm going to fill his mouth with every single horror shit and just try to explode him from the inside.
All right, let's do it. Let's roll a d20.
So nasty. That's a 9.
That's a 9. Yes, suddenly the book, Jayne, you can feel the book like shredding apart. That little tear that was in the book gets bigger and bigger until the cover of the book frays off, the pages fray off, they shred, and they kind of go all over the place inside Dr. Radicin. He seems somewhat confused by this, looking around. I don't know what you were attempting to do with that. Oh, suddenly each page, I want you to open the book and read the first word you see.
I think it's
Crashing.
open.
What?
Trashing.
Trenching?
Crashing.
Perfect. Yeah, so like an eruption occurs on one side of his body as like a small star envelops his leg, and then another explosion happens in his chest as a black hole like collapses it in on itself. Vasilia, you're gonna need to do an acrobatics check right now.
That's totally fine. I completely understand.
All right, let's roll the acrobatics check. We'll set it at 16.
1d20.
1d20 plus 1d6.
Nat 20!
Nat 20. Vasilia, why don't you tell me what happens?
With a 6! It's the maximum possible you
double
can get!
nat! A double nat! Oh, shit!
Oh, shit!
Okay. So we're making up a new rule here, guys. If you are watching right now, this has never, ever happened. And I am creating a new rule right now in Hazards and Hijinks. When a person double crits, everyone gets to tell me what happens. So, Vasilia, what happens?
I would positively adore to use Vampower, and I would love to expound upon this explosion, and I would like to grow several limbs and outburst wings like a butterfly from a cocoon and rip his flesh apart with them and stretch the sinew between them as I burst out of his body in tandem.
Yes. So the first thing you notice is as these kind of celestial bodies are bursting out of him and colliding and crashing into each other, an enormous vampiric necrotic monstrosity erupts out of him, and he flies in all different places. And it's Vasilia, and she's got like 6 bat wings and blood seared eyes and too many teeth, Bricen. Just too many teeth. And she's just like chomping down, ripping into the flesh as it continues to try and regrow and reform around him and around her. Bricen, what happens next?
I'm going to take care of the other, like, those assistants that were there, and I would like to just launch another standard attack on them and just rip them apart. Let's just keep, let's just finish everyone off. Let's get rid of everyone.
Again, it's a crit, so you don't have to roll. So you just launch in and you grab one in an arm lock, and you flip him over and slam him into the third one, and then you throw both of them into one of the mouths of Dr. Radicin that's trying to form, and it just noshes down on them, ripping them apart, and they scream in agony as they're just shredded. Ripper, what happens?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for those who were watching before, earlier in this very night, not tonight, but a couple sessions ago, which was still tonight. It's confusing. Regardless, I found and summoned the Space Ripper.
You did.
Since that hole in reality where it came through is so fresh, opening a new black hole that collapses in on itself and the birth of a new star together, bring it back into my hand.
Oh, shit.
Teleport forward to where Dr. Radicin's brain is, and I cut everything out from around it, so it's just the brain that then is flying through the air towards Jayne.
All right. Jayne, what happens?
So I just want you to know, I opened the book to "Won't You Come Home, Eerie Baby." So when all things going on, when the now slightly destroyed book in its form like this hits Jayne right in the hands, and as she holds it, she hears a voice which sounds very much like her friend the Aboleth from beyond, going, "No, Jayne. The book didn't give you power. You gave power to the book."
Don't, oh my god!
And with the book explosion, Jayne opens her mouth and an eyeball comes out that shoots a laser and blows up the brain.
Yes. Like an eyeball very similar to the Beholders and the Eldritch Horrors that you summon, kind of like emerges out of your mouth, which, Bricen, is way scarier than teeth. And just like a laser shoots out and catches the brain as it's falling, and it just like reduces it, you know, like Dragon Ball Z style when the bad guy gets hit by the Kamehameha and he's like, and it just like erases it. He's just like, yes, tattered pieces of paper burned by some eldritch force into nothingness as on Jayne's bow in her hair appear the tiny little imprints of books, and on her dress it looks like very stylized open books and closed books are all around her dress. Congratulations, Jayne, you have ascended to the next level of Warlock. Huzzah! And huzzah to everybody as you have defeated Dr. Radicin.
Woo!
This is 1 year in the making. This is an entire year.
Yeah, an entire year in the making. And with that, the metal in the room like just starts dripping and collapsing, and the flesh surrounding it begins to envelop the whole room. You only have like a split second to make some type of action to get out of here. Ripper, what do you do?
How big is the drone that Scythe made for himself?
It can be any size you want it to be. Right now it stands about 9 feet tall.
9 feet tall? Okay, cool. I tell Scythe to Vasilia's got wings. They're fine. Jayne is a lot. Jayne's fine. Bryson's jacked. He's fine. I'm jacked. I'm fine. Scythe, let's blow a hole in the ceiling and let's climb out of here.
Okay.
Jayne temporarily sprouts really nasty looking wings
from
her
god.
Just for a second.
Yeah, just like wings, and they have writing and inscriptions on them.
Yeah, and
like pages in a book.
And I say something really terrible, like Eldritch, like language that no one can speak, and it could be maddening for anyone who wasn't protected by me, but it basically just says, "Take my arms and we go up."
Word.
So I just have Scythe blast a hole in the
two horrors fly into the air, both Vasilia and Jayne. Ripper, you say all this stuff and it feels super dramatic, and then Bricen, you hear Scythe go, Dr. Wainwright, you do not have access.
Fuck!
As a mass of flesh just collapses on you.
No!
Bricen, you grab Ripper, who's now knocked out from under the mass of flesh, and it is up to you. You two have to figure out a way out of here. How do you get out of this collapsing flesh mass?
Scythe, I think we should try to do that, and let's do the hole. Can you make a hole, like Ripper said? Make a hole, please, pretty please.
Unfortunately, you only have combat access and the portable elevator access.
Portable elevator? Can you?
Will you make the portable elevator go nice and smooth and not super fast?
Of course. The elevator surrounds you and Ripper and begins playing smooth, nice jazz as it rockets out of the massive flesh like a bullet cutting through and just shoots back into Ripper's office with Jayne and Vasilia flying behind. As the elevator erupts into the office, this causes Bagel, who has finally gotten the spider bonnet off of her head, to scream in horror again and run back into the night. The doors all open. Bricen, you pull you pull Ripper out and you kind of slap him awake. Ripper, you look around. The damage to the office, all things considered, probably going to take like a day or two to fix. Roll a d4 in odd or even.
God, even. We've been rolling so many twos. It's a 2.
You feel an intense pain in your neck as Scythe implants a chip. Normally I do this while they're sleeping, but as we could not access you for quite some time, I was most concerned. And then the entire office like collapses like a house of cards, just like out of a comedy, just all of the walls fall.
Thanks, bud.
Of course.
I hate magnets.
Jayne's wings fall off and just hit the ground and immediately shrivel up and turn to dust as if they were never there.
Yeah.
Well, only temporary.
I'm glad they turned to dust and not goo.
Bricen, as the walls collapse, from one of the cabinets rolls out a nice bottle of scotch, and you notice there is still a pile of butterscotch. You can make yourself your butterscotch scotched butters if you would like. I think if anybody's earned
I definitely
it's you.
Deserve this. I will make that.
Jayne, you can play a trick or you can help with the treat. What would you like to do?
I'm too old for tricking and treating now. I'm 16.
Jayne just kind of looks at you all and huffs and then just like leaves.
God.
Rolls her eyes, is so embarrassed. Vasilia, what would you like to do?
Just de-transform. Tasted awful. I'll take a shot of that to rinse whatever that was out of my mouth. I'm sorry if that was graphic, by the way.
And so Bricen gives each of you the Evening of Hollows butterscotch scotch buttered cocktail. You all cheers to the long night. Huzzah, and congratulate each other on surviving another trip to the Shadowfel. Wow, what a great adventure. That was an extra long episode. And thank you to everyone who stuck around with us. If you made it all the way to the end, please, hey, like, subscribe, follow, all of that stuff. Subscribers get access to our cool emojis where you can throw up your own laughing dragon huzzah. Also, if you want to take advantage of the Patreon exclusive features, please Follow those links, join our Patreon right now today. Also, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, so you know when your favorite cool adventurer is playing, and you don't have to ask me at the top of every show if Quinn's in this one. You'll know. We're taking 2 weeks off because we are celebrating Halloween, but if you come back here Monday, we will be airing all of the Shadowfel episodes for you to catch up if you haven't seen them. Those are listed as a rerun, but catch them here if you feel like it. Otherwise, we will see you in 2 weeks as we return back to our normal adventure. But as this is a spooky adventure, I will not end with telling you what's coming next. No, we have a post-credit scene deep in the bowels of Dr. Radicin's third secret base.
My fucking god.
A clone spell is activated, and a shriveled, malnourished man drops onto the ground. He is immediately picked up by several mechanical arms, and his brain is removed from his body and placed inside a jar. It's going to take me a whole year to get back to where I need to be, isn't it? Now, feel free to join in Dr. Radicin with this huzzah. 3, 2, 1. Huzzah!
Holy hell's bells.
I mean, I've already beat him twice now. I can beat him a third time. I need to.
Round 3, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was some good stuff. All right, for those keeping score at home, they did make it through the slaughterhouse. They did find the aboleth. They did defeat a big bad evil monster, so that actually gets them 4 level up.
I level up.
So
Oh, I
Vasilia's
also
leveled,
level up again.
Ripper's leveled,
I level 2.
and Jayne has leveled, and I'm pretty sure Bricen leveled too. Let me check.
Welcome to
What if we all
Hazards
held
and
hands and
Hijinks.
leveled? Haha, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Oh my god.
Less? What if we
Unless- Oh my god.
Oh. Well, yeah, you definitely deserved a level because that was a nuts adventure.
Oh.
You know what? I didn't put anyone in my mouth when we were escaping. That's a win.
I'm gonna say because you put. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Vasilia put Radicin in her mouth, so that still counts as a win.
Happy evening of the hollows. Happy evening of the hollows, everyone.
I'm fucking cutting the stream. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You bunch
Sorry
of
that ran
freaks.
so long, but that was a great episode.
Mm-hmm.